Hey, hello everyone, and thanks for joining us for Access City Council. I'm your host, City of Las Vegas Communications Director, David Riggleman. Coming up on this show, a brand new fitness court is installed at Garehime Park, along with some pretty cool upgrades to the skate park. And the Cimmaron Rose Community Center now has a beautiful new dance and gymnastics building. Here to talk about these topics and a whole lot more is our Mayor Pro Tem, Stavros Anthony, who is also the councilman for Ward 4. Thanks for being here. How are you?
I'm doing great, David. Thanks for having me, and we got lots to talk about.
Exciting times in Ward 4.
things are going 100 miles an hour, and it's even better because it's starting to cool down now with the daylight savings time, and it's a beautiful time to be outside enjoying our community.
And we're going to have some offerings for people along those lines for sure. The thing of it is, you know Ward 4 very well. This is your stomping grounds out there. For those of you out there not exactly sure where Ward 4 is located, well, don't have any fear. We're going to go ahead and show you right here on the map. It's basically out in the northwest area. If you live in that area, work in that area, then you are in the city limits of the city of Las Vegas. Of course, if you are a resident out there, you're represented on the city council by Stavros Anthony. And we should tell everyone, Mayor Pro Tem, that we're redrawing the lines. It's redistricting time again, and so those lines are going to shift a little bit here. Talk about that the next time you're on the show.
Yeah, I'd love to. We're going through that process right now. We've shown the maps to the public. We're getting some input to see if anybody has any hesitation about the way the lines are drawn. And everything goes well, we'll approve it in December. And yeah, at the next Access City Council, we can actually show the new maps and talk about the process that we went to. But the most important thing is public input. We want to make sure the public sees the maps, is comfortable with them, and there may be some legitimate reasons to change it, but so far so good.
Yeah, it's on the city's website, lasvegasnevada.gov. The information about redistricting will be on there. The reason we do it, Mayor Pro Tem, is to try to keep the populations in each ward about the same number. And it tends to be where Ward 6 grows very rapidly compared to the others, kind of throws off those numbers. So every so many years we go through and try to make sure that the wards have about the same number of people.
Yeah, and it's looking like each ward is going to have about 105,000 residents. And you're right, and you can just look at the demographics for the last 20 years. The population has been moving west and moving north because that's where the land was available in the city of Las Vegas. So my ward will be the southern boundary line. Looks like it'll stay about the same, but I'll be pushed north, and they'll go around the continent, if you know what that is. If you don't, watch the next Access City Council. We'll actually show it to you.
Yeah, exactly. We'll get there. But just heads up, if you're some of those folks that live kind of on the border of the wards, there's a good chance that you'll be shifting to a different ward. At least that's the possibility. Yep. So let's jump in. One of the shining stars out there in Ward 4, you're very proud of this, is Garehime Park. You posted this on Facebook. You said a new fitness court and refreshed skate park are now available at Garehime Heights Park, and this is exciting stuff.
You know, I'll tell you, I've been on the city council for 12 years, and one of our top priorities has always been our parks. We have some of the best parks in the country in the city of Las Vegas, and we're constantly building new parks. We're refurbishing the ones that we have. So Garehime Park up at by Campbell and Gowan, right across the street from Garehime Elementary School, needed some work. It's a beautiful park. A lot of people use it. We completely redid the skateboard section of it, so it's a little bit safer and it's a little bit bigger, so kids can have more time to go out there and use a skateboard.
A little more room and stuff. Yeah.
But the even bigger part is there's a nice walking circle path in Garehime Park, and our Parks and Rec folks found a great system to put in these fitness stages all around in a circle. And you can not only just go for a nice walk, but you can exercise a little bit extra. So I'd encourage you to go out there and take a look at it. And obviously, you don't have to use them, or you could just use part of them.
Or you might be inspired.
Or you might use every single one of them. And again, like I said earlier, this is a great time to be outside. The weather's beautiful, and it's really a good time to take advantage of some of these extra amenities we're putting in our parks. And it's really, it comes down to just the health of our community. We want to make sure that we're healthy and we have places to go that are free. You don't have to spend any money, and you get some exercise, and you can meet some of your neighbors and take your dog out there, but I'd encourage you to go to Garehime Park and take a look at this fitness center we've put up.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Go check it out. You kind of go to the different stations, and it tells you what to do and how to do it. I think a lot of it you'll figure it out just by yourselves, but it's great. It's a great addition out there, and yeah, instead of just having to do the boring, repetitious stuff, hey, this takes you around and you get to work out and have a little fun in the process.
And it's a national program, so these fitness stages are all over the country, and they're being used, and they've been experimented on. So they are a way to stay healthier and strong.
Exactly. Sounds good. And not to be outdone, we're excited about this. You posted this on Facebook. Lots of fun with the grand opening and ribbon cutting of the new dance and gymnastics building in the Cimmaron Rose Community Center in Ward 4.
Again, it goes back to we have some great community centers in the city of Las Vegas, and I'm proud of this little gem up at Cimmaron and Ann Road. It's a smaller facility. But we're spending money to expand it. So we've created a dance studio up there where your kids can come in and get free dance lessons and exercise some more. We've built more of a waiting area where parents can sit in there and watch a studio. It was about $1 million project, and it's absolutely gorgeous. So again, I'd encourage you to go up to Cimmaron and Ann Road and walk in there and look around and see if this is a place you want to take your kids. We have organized programs up there, but we keep expanding our community centers because people want to use them.
Yeah, sure do.
Again, it's a great place to meet some of your neighbors. You're sitting in there watching your kids, and they start chatting with your neighbors and getting to know each other, and it just builds a better community that way.
Sure does. That took place back on September 30th, so it's brand new. It's just the doors just opened there, so pretty cool.
Yeah, we enjoy doing that.
All right. Mayor Pro Tem, tell everyone where Cimmaron Rose is located in general if they're not familiar.
It's Ann Road and Cimmaron.
Ann Road and Cimmaron,
right. It's just west of Painted Desert Golf Course, if you know where that is. So it's right on the corner. You can't miss it. But it's not a huge facility. It's just more of a little pocket park for a neighborhood. But anybody can go there.
Yep. Yeah. Check out the new facility. It's pretty cool, the dance and gymnastics studio. And we love, Councilman, Mayor Pro Tem, when new businesses open. Boy, it's been a rough go with the pandemic, but when they open, we really celebrate it. And you have a new place out there. The Sandra Fox Couture had their grand opening, and I'm not really familiar with the store. This was back on November 6th, but tell us what do they do there?
Well, as you mentioned appropriately, this is great to see businesses opening up, entrepreneurs, people taking the leap and opening up their own business. And this was an interesting one because I had no idea what it was either when they invited me to be there. The Vegas Chamber was there, the Women's Chamber of Commerce was there, and they invited me because it's in my ward, and I was looking forward to finding out what this is. I didn't even know what a couture was. Wasn't even pronouncing it correctly. But it's a one-woman show. Ladies can walk in there. They can sit down with Sandra. They sit down with her and they design a dress of their liking, what they want, whether it's a bridal dress or an evening dress.
I see.
Something that's going to be a little fancy. She designs it with you, and then she orders the fabric and she makes it there, and you come in and make sure it fits right, and you walk out the door. So it's not a place where you go and pick up a dress off the rack. It's
all custom made.
It's all custom made, and what was absolutely incredible is she does it all herself.
Wow.
She's the only employee with her husband who does some of the other things, but it has where she sews, her office, where she designs it, and it was pretty. It was pretty neat. So if there's any ladies out there that want their own design dress made by somebody who's been in this business for 20 years, 30 years, it's the Sandra Fox Couture. It's it's at Buffalo and Cheyenne.
Buffalo and Cheyenne. Okay.
It's on Cheyenne, next to the Los Papuso restaurant, right next to it. It's by appointment only, so just go to her website and make an appointment. And she's a remarkable woman, very smart, been doing this for a long time, and I was very impressed. And it was nice having the ribbon cutting.
Yeah.
And
that took place on November
yeah.
6th, by the way. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it was at 11 o'clock, and she had some champagne.
That's always
so we were
good.
drinking a little champagne
Congrats.
at 11 o'clock, which was a good way to celebrate a new business.
Well, Sandra, congratulations to you. Best of luck with your new business, and welcome to Ward 4. Glad to have you out there. And then a mainstay in Ward 4 and some of the other areas around the Northwest is the Mayor's Cup Soccer Tournament, the International Showcase. You honored the local winners at our November 3rd City Council meeting, and we didn't have as many international teams because of the pandemic. People couldn't travel. So that really seemed to open the door. A lot of the local teams had great success then.
Yeah, it's this is a big deal. This is one of the major soccer tournaments in the country, the Mayor's Soccer Cup, which culminates at Betty Wilson Park in my ward, which is at Lake Mead in Tenaya. And these are the younger kids, 9 to 13 range, but these are some great soccer players that come from all over the country, 139 teams, and there's certain divisions that they all play in. And our Las Vegas, 19 of our Las Vegas teams won their division, which was, again, this is top-notch soccer. So we're very proud of these kids, both girls and boys, that make up these teams. So not only do they win their divisions, but what's important to me is that we bring them down to City Hall, and as you can see, we had, I think, 17 show up.
Yeah, 17 out of 19. Yeah, pretty good.
And the entire city chambers is filled with all these kids with their uniforms, and we bring them down. They get a picture with the mayor and city council, and all the parents are down there. And thank you to the parents for taking their kids to practice and the games. And they came down. We were taking pictures, and everybody was having a great time. And culminates when each team gets a certificate of recognition with their name on it, signed by the mayor and the entire city council, as a way for us to recognize what great players they are. And we do this with the Downtown Soccer Club. So Roger Tabor and his crew was there at the city council meeting. We recognized them, and our Parks and Rec team at the City of Las Vegas,
big deal for them,
who do a great job on these fields. These are some of the best fields in the country. People are amazed that they can play on these kind of soccer fields. So it was a wonderful morning, and you can see everybody's having a great time, and we'll do it again in the fall, in the spring.
That's right. That's the older kids in the spring, younger kids in the fall. And, I was impressed, too, because we had 17 teams. You'd think, oh, boy, we're going to be here all day. We did that whole ceremonial in 15 minutes. So congratulations. It was like clockwork,
Well, you told me we had to keep it at 15 minutes. Unfortunately, I went 15 seconds over.
15 minutes, 15 seconds. Yeah, we'll give you some grace on that. But that was great to have all those kids there. And it was a big deal. They came with many of them were wearing their uniforms. And so it was something they'll always remember. And then something I think, Councilman, this is great, along the same lines, you posted this on Facebook. You said, presenting a City of Las Vegas proclamation to Taylor Gardner and the Garden Foundation for their great work for those with disabilities and creating World Inclusion Day. So tell us about this organization.
Well, Taylor Gardner is a young lady now, but I've known her since she was a little kid. She was best friends with my daughters, so I would take them to school every morning, middle school and elementary school, and known her forever. And she started the Garden Foundation to help people with disabilities. So she had an event. You can see the event that we were at, and she raises money to help families that have individuals with disabilities. So I wanted to support her by issuing her a proclamation and getting it out on social media if anybody would like to help her out. But she's a great, I keep calling her a great kid, but she's married and pregnant, so she's not really a kid anymore. Yeah. And her mom was there, and her husband, and it was just it was nice going out there. And a lot of people were out there, and they were making donations and going through these activities that they had. So, hats off to individuals that create these ways to support individuals in need in our community. And Taylor's one of those. I'm very proud of her.
Well, good for her. And World Inclusion Day, a big deal too, where we remember everyone. Sometimes those folks that feel like, well, because of my disability or whatever,
Right.
I'm going to be always kept on the outside, and don't want anyone to feel that way.
Yep.
So. And then you were just handing out proclamations. You had the Wounded Blue Gala proclamation. You handed that out as well. Tell everybody. I'm assuming that's wounded police officers, something along those lines.
Yes. Randy Sutton, who's a retired lieutenant from the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department, and he started the Wounded Blue Foundation, which is there to raise money and help police officers that have been through some very tragic events. Car accidents where they were burned very badly, police officers that have been shot several times that have survived, police officers that have seen horrendous events that have PTSD.
Yeah, sure.
And he started this foundation to help these wounded police officers get through life. And he had this gala event, and there was 800 people there from across the country. I was absolutely amazed at the support that these not only just retired police officers, but all over the people just came out to donate to this cause. They had some seminars where wounded police officers could come out and talk to other wounded police officers and let them know that you can still fight. And I was there to give him a proclamation and recognize him for the foundation, and recognize really all the men and women in uniform throughout the country that put their lives on the line to keep our community safe. And many of them retire without any scars, and some get some pretty serious scars. Some obviously even make the ultimate sacrifice.
Sure.
But Randy Sutton is a great guy, and I've worked with him at Metro. And again, it's another example of somebody deciding to step up and do their part to work on a certain cause.
Yeah. I think everyone knows, many people know, you're retired from Metro yourself. You retired as a captain after 29 years. And it's such an important organization because people may not be aware, you certainly are, the rate of suicide among police officers is high compared to the average population. So obviously organizations like this that can provide that support, vitally important.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, David, because that is a part of the Wounded Blue Foundation, as they put seminars together, as I mentioned, and part of that is to keep police officers focused in a positive attitude, even though they have these scars, to make sure that doesn't happen. Right. Unfortunately, it does, but if we can keep it to a minimum, that would be absolutely awesome.
Yeah, hear, hear. And speaking of law enforcement, you posted this on Facebook. You said, beautiful evening for a national night out in South Shores, Ward 4, keeping our community safe. And National Night Out, a tradition, it's the first Tuesday. We do it in October because it's pretty warm when the rest of the country does it in August. So some states like Nevada, Arizona, Texas will do National Night Out a little bit later on. And so we did this year out at South Shore. It's always a big event, great turnout, and a great way to meet the police officers that are going to patrol the area, the marshals that patrol the area in our city facilities, and to get to meet you, their council member.
Well, their National Night Out events all over the city of Las Vegas. There was a big one you can see from the pictures in downtown Summerlin, put on by the Summerlin Area Command, and it was packed. There were so many people that showed up, and you can see the fire department was out there. I think Captain America was out there.
Yeah, it looked like some superheroes. I saw that. Yeah, cool. Who knew? Who knew they were available?
Exactly. And it's a great way to meet your local police officers. We did have one in South Shores that a homeowners association put one together, and which is just south of Desert Shores. And I went out to that one, and it was fun. There was probably 60, 70 people out there, and they're having a great time, and they're talking to their neighbors, and they had some food trucks out there. And I went out there and said hi to folks and asked them how the neighborhood was going, and everyone was very, very positive, and it was just a great way for people to get out and talk to their neighbors and find out what are the issues that are important to them. So we have big national night outs, and then we have some smaller ones,
right.
and then we have ones in between. So it's we do it every year, as you mentioned, and it was nice to go to a couple this year.
Yeah, National Night Out, like I say, is usually the first Tuesday in August. like I say, it's pretty warm in August in Las
Right.
Vegas, so we do it in October. But actually, there were some in August as well. People got out there and still braved the heat, but
Right.
others said, you know what, we'll do this. We'll do this a few months down the road. So, and then speaking of police officers, you posted this on Facebook. You said, thank you to the Starbucks at Tanea and Craig for hosting my Coffee with a Cop and Councilman and meeting the neighbors. And this is really an informal way to get to know the police officers in the neighborhood, to get to know the city councilman, and just talk about any issues that might be going on within the neighborhood.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, I want to thank Starbucks at Craig and Tanea. They were very gracious. They opened up their doors. They put out some coffee and cakes and things for the public. But we had LVMPD was out there, our own Department of Public Safety. I was there. And people came in just to ask some questions. How's it going? And just want to let you know about an issue in my neighborhood. And everybody was very friendly, and it was just so again, a nice way to meet people in the community. And again, part of that is creating this face-to-face contact with community members and police officers in uniform, because a lot of people get intimidated by a big police officer in a uniform with a badge and a gun, and we want people to be able to go up to these officers and say, hey, how are you? Thanks for what you do. I have an issue in my neighborhood. I want to talk to you personally. It's a way to make it a little bit more relaxed. So it was a fun morning. We got some new information. People came in just to say hi.
What were some of the things you heard?
You know, so some
speeding and things like that.
Yeah,
or,
some of it was, you know, there's people parking funny in their neighborhood. You know, people parking an RV, and you know that's not supposed to be there for more than a couple of days. So it was really kind of minor nuisance type things that you know, if you live in that neighborhood and you see it every day. If you get up in the morning and you see graffiti on the wall across your street every day, you don't like it. And it's our job to get rid of it. So sometimes people don't even know who to call to get something like that done. So it was good to help people out like that.
Good deal.
Yeah.
So, and those are a recurring thing. Mayor Pro Tem goes out and does Coffee with the Cop, Coffee with the Councilman on a regular basis. So we'll have it on the website. The next one coming up, we'll talk about it on this show if you want to go out and be part of it. It's always very casual. It's usually over a cup of coffee, and a lot less intimidating than having to come down to City Hall and all that. You're just sitting over a cup of coffee across the table. It's pretty nice.
Correct.
Councilman, we're into that time of year. We have all the holidays coming. We had Trunk or Treat back on October 22nd, right before Halloween. This is always great. The impressive decorations and costumes that come out on this. Always in a safe environment. I think parents love it because you're always going to know it's going to be a safe place to take your kid, and you get to wear your costume more than just one night.
So this Trunk or Treat was at the Durango Hills Y, and last year we made a little adjustment where we had our stations where people had their candy and their costumes, and we're handing things out, and families drove through. So they stayed in the car. They drove through, they said hi, we tried to scare them a little bit, give them some candy, everybody was out, Metro, the fire department, all kinds of folks were out there. It was a huge success. So we did it again this year, and it was a huge success.
Sure.
The cars were so backed up, we had to get some of our deputy marshals to come out and do some traffic control.
Wow.
But everybody was having a great time, and the kids were all dressed up, and they drove through, like you said. We did it. It was nice and safe, and we handed candy out and popcorn, and everybody was having just a great time. And if we could try to scare the kids any way we could, we tried. But it's actually ended up working out as a good format. Will we continue doing it this way in the future? Who knows?
Yeah,
but
because of the
worked
pandemic,
out.
we adjusted, you know. And again, I think parents love that kind of thing because they know it's going to be a safe environment. And this, you know, sometimes you're going into a neighborhood, maybe you're not familiar with the neighborhood. It's like, I don't really know the houses or the neighbors here, but you go to this, you know it's going to be a good, safe place.
And the kids got plenty of candy. We were handing out a lot of candy.
No shortage of the candy this time around, absolutely. And then, Mayor Pro Tem, we're running out of time here, but we want to make sure that we mention to everybody there's a concert in the park going to take place on November 13th. We know that some of you will see this probably after the fact because the show airs over the course of a week, but hopefully many of you will see it in advance of the concert. It's going to be Saturday night, November 13th at Garehime Park, starting at 7, right?
Yeah, this is pretty exciting. I mean, first of all, it's in our newest park, the one I built in Ward 4. It's up against it's the west end of the valley, right up against the mountain. It's on cliff shadows, so it's an absolutely beautiful area. There's a little less light up there, so the stars come out, and it's going to be Cover Lane is going to be the band, and if you know Carnell Johnson. He is the famous Star Spangled Banner singer.
Yeah, the Golden Pipes.
Golden Pipes, yeah. So if you go to the Golden Knights games, you know who exactly who this is. He's got a wonderful voice, and he's in this band, Cover Lane.
Cool.
So you can come out, starts at 7, bring blankets, chairs, whatever you'd like to be comfortable. Bring some food with you. I believe we'll have some food trucks out there for you. And it may be a little bit cooler Saturday, so you bring blankets and jackets, and you're going to have a wonderful time sitting outside listening to a great concert, and it's all free.
Yeah, cool. That's even better. Yeah.
And I'll be out there to say hi to everybody. But this is a great way to just sit outside and enjoy yourself. And there's going to be a lot of people out there. You can meet your neighbors and have a lot of fun. So. If you hear about this before November 13th, I'd love to have you out there.
Yeah, come on out, enjoy the music, and did we mention it's free?
That's right.
It's always good. Well, Mayor Pro Tem, we are about out of time here, but we want to tell everyone out there, we always want to hear from you. So if there's something you'd like to share with Mayor Pro Tem Anthony, you can find him on Facebook and Twitter. You can also contact us by picking up the phone. We still do that here, 229-6405. Or send an email to Mayor Pro Tem Anthony. His address is santhony@lasvegasnevada.gov, and he or one of his great staff get right back to you with whatever issue you might. And if it's not a city issue or a Ward 4 issue, they'll get you connected with the right people. So you always take care of everybody.
Great to be here with you, David. And what's great about this is the city of Las Vegas is so open and transparent. We want everybody to know what we're doing, what we're involved in, and your communication department does a great job making sure we get out to the public what the city of Las Vegas and is all about and how we can serve our community.
All right. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that. And speaking of serving the community, we're going to come back with more shows in the future. But in the meantime, thanks for being here. Happy holidays to you. We're into that time of year. Happy Thanksgiving. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, and everything else that's coming up. It's hard to believe that 2021 is waning, but here we are. So we'll see you back in 6 weeks with another update from Ward 4. And in the meantime, everyone, don't miss our next show beginning on November 18th with Ward 2 City Councilwoman Victoria Seaman. You can catch all of our KCLV shows on Apple TV, Roku, and Amazon Fire. Also, watch for our QR code after this show to subscribe to our newsletter. And don't forget, you can watch us live on the internet at kclv.tv. Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you next time around.